Yes, yes, yes. Welcome to the 13th and final round podcast.
And today we have a very special guest
Danny Quartermine.
in the house.
Yes, Danny. Finally, we've got it right, Danny. We've got it
Been
right.
practicing this. Sounds like you haven't been.
You'll never see the bloopers because we'll be finished. Took us about 6 attempts. How we doing, sir?
Very good, thank you very much.
When are we out next? Tell the people when you're out next.
Yeah, so I fought on the May show, the Boxer show in Birmingham.
Yeah.
That went as well as I could have gone.
Yeah.
So we're looking to get out like September time now. Hopefully on another big show. If not, we're definitely going to be challenging for an area title.
Nice.
Let's go.
That's the whole thing about boxing. You've got to work up to get something, a title or something out of it.
I think you've got to be busy as well, especially nowadays. You've got to be quite busy. If you start finding gaps and 6-month windows where you're not fighting, you start getting a bit rusty.
So how do you think he'll come on with the 10 rounders? How do you think he'll perform?
No, I think they'll benefit me. I've done a few sixes and a lot of people question my intensity as in a 6 round. I think surely he's not going to keep it for 6 rounds, but I can keep that intensity up for 6 rounds. And then when it goes obviously to the 10 rounders, I've obviously got to think about a bit more of a strategy. I can't keep it up for 10 rounds.
That's right.
But I know that I can keep it up for a good 6, 7, 8 rounds.
So
then I can drop off when I need to.
That's sensible.
It works better for some people, doesn't it? Like,
That's if it goes.
That's it.
10 rounds.
It might go 1 round. You know what I mean? If you're happy, then job's over.
And tell us that experience. That's your first big show. What was it like? How was it different?
Well, obviously the organisation of it's totally different.
Yeah.
But everything about it, the small hall shows that I've been on before, you turn up on the day. There's no cameras around. You turn up, you weigh in.
No nerves.
Go eat your food, sit in the changing room, get ready, and then obviously everyone starts filling up. But with this, it happens over 3 or 4 days before the fight.
Yeah.
You're in the hotel with everyone.
Big
some of the big faces, Johnny, Spencer Oliver, then obviously Ben himself, Ben Shalom and that, and then you're in the same hotel, in the same lobby, in the same reception as all these lot, having a chat like you've known each other for a year or two, just chatting about boxing, chatting about general life, and then obviously when the cameras are out, it's kind of like you mean business.
Was it nerve-wracking for you in the camera? I mean, obviously it's somewhat new for you. When you're nerve-wracking, like the build-up and everything, how do you control it? How do you control that?
But the truth is, everyone gets nervous, right?
Yeah.
So
But
I think the question is, some people get nervous in the change rooms, some people the week before the fight in the build-up. When does it hit you? When does the reality kick you?
Luckily, in terms of nervousness, I don't think it hits me as hard as it might hit others. I think because I had such a big amateur background.
Right.
In terms of the nerves for the fight, they're very minimal. Obviously, there is nerves there. That no one ever has a fight and never gets any nerves at all. But I wouldn't say that kicks until like close to the fight. I don't think. I'm quite relaxed and quite chilled out. Leading up to it the week before. I mean, with the press conference, the weigh-in and stuff, I'm quite calm and relaxed. Doesn't.
I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. It wouldn't be able to do the episodes or buy the equipment to do a podcast without the sponsors. So we're going to give a big shout out to
One Love Caribbean Food Shop in Bradford. Thank you very much.
The best Jamaican food in England, my wife will tell you. Also a big shout out to the Fat Loss King for sponsoring us. If you want to lose 5 to 20 pounds and look good for the summer, there's no better time than see results like this. Guys, keep on enjoying the podcast and don't forget to give us a shout out. Don't forget to like, share,
comment, subscribe.
And subscribe.
And subscribe as well. Don't forget.
Other people on interviews have done.
I think the way the world's going, though, especially with how social media's going, I've noticed this with my business. The trend is authenticity.
Everyone knows that people aren't the same. And you're not going to run off by a script.
No.
Where everyone running by that script is going to say exactly the same thing.
Precisely.
And you want people that are different. You know, nowadays, whether it be gender or race, etc., everyone's different in every way. So you want to bring that individuality out in someone and build character.
Yeah. Because what I like to do, I've been around boxing a long time now, and I look at the YouTuber thing, and I look at how boxing's changed since social media, pay-per-view, streaming era, and the changes in boxing now. There's like prize fighting and professional boxing, and there's some people that go down the prize fighting route
Yeah.
that earn more money. They louder. They don't care what people think. They say what they want to say. In fact, let's be honest. Some of the entertainment, some of the build up is more entertaining than the
Yeah,
fights.
of course it is. Of course it is.
And then there's the professional fighting, which you are. And the professional fighting sometimes, but I don't think it's fair sometimes because some guys just want to talk with a fist. That's you.
Yeah, it is.
They want to get in there, and for a while it used to piss me off. But then I think about a workplace. There's some people that kiss up to the manager and
That's right, and move up and get.
and it's
moved
in every
up,
genre,
yeah.
innit? Like some people then go to work hard and don't move up because of merit, right?
Well, you know, boxing is all about show business. You got to be a character. You know what I mean? You can't just go in there and just okay, you might box and fight good, but you need something else to sell.
It's an
character.
entertainment factor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You need
Boxers
to-
are entertainers, aren't they?
It is.
If you
Well, look at Naz.
his
The reason
prime
why you want to
example.
watch Naz because you want to go and watch him dance as he come out. What was he going to come out to this time?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
and
who
if you
out
look
for.
at Naz, he had two sides to his fan base. It was either people that wanted to watch him win or come out
see him
and
lose.
celebrate with him, or others wanted to turn up
Chris
and watch
Eubanks
him
as well.
get
On the
knocked out
motorbike,
if
come out on the
happened.
motorbike,
Yeah.
Chris Eubanks.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on the entertainer. Nigel Benn, he came out differently. So everyone's have a different way of coming
Yeah,
out.
It's how the audience connects to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you're talking Naz's day and you're talking Nigel Benn's day before social media,
Yeah.
all right, it was more Muhammad Ali even did this.
He did
got
the
it
showbiz
he got it
as
off
A wrestler.
George, what was his name?
I can't remember, but he got it for the wrestler.
Someone George he was called. And there was like, before the social media, it was like the good guy or bad guy. If you like Frank Bruno, you pay for tickets. You don't like Frank Bruno, you don't watch.
That's it.
With Naz, if you like him, you pay. And if you don't like him, you pay even
to
more.
watch him
You
lose,
pay
get
even
knocked
more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But what's happened now with social media is it's leveled up and gone above that. Now what it's about, when I start posting my stuff on social media, I was like, why isn't it working? And I hired some market people, and it's 3 rules that you've got to get across to the audience watching in. They've got to know you, they've got to like you, and they've got to trust you.
That's right.
Right? And so you've got to bring that across. You need to make them emotionally connected in some way. Like if you cry in front of a camera, well, it's simple things, isn't it?
It's
Like
true, it's true.
what sells,
Yeah, what sells? That's all it
crying,
is.
violence.
You've got to get
and
that
audience.
personal factor,
That's
that
right. Yeah,
person,
yeah,
no matter whether they like you or dislike you. You've got to try and
Entertain
get them interacted with
Yeah.
your story, because every fighter, every person
Has a
on
story.
social
That's
media,
right.
etc., has got a story
Yeah.
of
where they've come from or what they've done.
yeah.
And it's just trying to get them people and almost interact with them through your phone
Yeah.
to get them involved with your story.
Yeah, because they're on your
and buy
journey,
into it.
connecting
And
to
that's
your
what it
journey.
is,
Yeah. It's so weird because I was like, I was getting frustrated about 6 months back because when I was putting posts out about fat loss and weight loss and all that type of stuff that I do, I wasn't getting no likes, no comments. Then I started talking about, I suffer from depression.
Yeah.
The way I beat is by keeping myself
And
busy.
that relates to
And,
somebody.
and so you guys probably see it and are like, what's John on about now? And now
I thought you
what
were
about
poorly.
psoriasis?
I thought you were poorly,
And
man.
I-
I will ring him.
And about, I talk about psoriasis and I talk about things. They did my things. They ring me. Lewis was texting me like, "You
Yeah,
all right,
right,
mate?"
so-
And things like that. And I'm like, no, that's just because vulnerability. I have to
Touch somebody.
let people know.
Especially
who I
nowadays
am.
with a lot, there's mental health. Is
Oh,
massive,
yes.
massive
Yes.
thing.
Loads.
And I think maybe even 10 years ago, probably you say you've got anxiety or something, people just push it into the car. Get on with it. Whereas nowadays, there's people
Look
out there
into
trying
it.
to help.
Yes.
And I think sometimes you can help through sport in general.
Yeah.
Whether you don't have to always go down the route of like with us, it's boxing and that's it.
Yeah.
You can reach out to people, and whether you're making someone's day or making them think differently about themselves.
Yeah.
I think sports people have a lot of power in that aspect. Because a lot of people watch sports, view it, tune into it, and with a lot with social media now, and even so much this celebrity boxing.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that are on there are YouTubers, so they've got a massive fan base.
Yeah.
And if they reached out to someone and give them a message, etc., it could change their life.
Yeah,
And how
100%.
they view everything.
100%. Yeah, it's. I find that a strange one. I've been doing these. I broke away from the last 6 weeks. I decided, all right, I'm going to listen to what I'm being told. I've stopped editing posts as much. I started doing more. I do these little 2-minute mindset posts every day. We got like
And
10,000 views.
They're good.
I got one guy reach out to me, a total stranger.
I
Said to
clicked you. I said like I put a like in as well.
You always like it. But I got this one morning. I woke up and I got this message. It came through and he goes, "You don't know me from Adam, but I want to let you know that I came across you 6 weeks ago and I listened to your 2-minute post. And I was suicidal before I met you, but now you make me want to do something. I've gone back to the gym. I'm eating healthy, and I get off and thinking, wow,
Testimony.
it's helping, right? It's
I
impacting
think
people.
you know, like you said, like a 2-minute video as well. I've seen on your social, not everything you do is perfect.
No.
which is what you need as well, because people see lots of stuff on TV and whatnot, and it's all scripted, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
What you see is perfect, but behind all of the cameras, etc., film stars, superstars, you know, famous people,
Yeah.
they never do everything perfectly.
No,
People always make mistakes along the way.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think on your socials, even if the way you train, etc., with myself or how you train,
Yeah.
you make mistakes, and it's good for people to see the mistakes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the bloopers.
The
So
vulnerability.
Donovan, we've probably got quite a few, haven't we? So
Don't worry, I'm going to put
earlier
that.
on,
Did we record that? I'm going to put the bloopers on it.
but everyone's not perfect, and everyone
Yeah,
makes
not
mistakes,
perfect, John. Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
that's right.
people make mistakes. It's how you learn from their mistakes, and
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
So it's part of life.
you got to make
Not
mistakes
many
to
perfect.
be a better person or
That's right.
better an athlete or something.
When we're doing this podcast, the most important thing to us is that it's not classed as an interview.
It's a chat.
We want a
It's
chat.
a chat.
We make
Yeah,
mistakes.
we want the people through the cameras, anyone tuning in with Danny right now, we want you to understand him as a person. We want you to get behind him as a person. This kid here is obviously liked in this area because this guy sells tickets.
Yeah, tickets.
How many
What-
tickets
no,
did you sell for the last fight?
Just over 300, and realistically, we had like
That's
what
good.
4 weeks notice and no promotion,
Right.
so it was good.
So okay, you live around this area, don't you?
Yeah.
Why are you liked?
It's because Danny Quarterman.
Come on, it's,
yeah,
come on, tell us why you liked. Why
Trying
you
not to get
liked
big
around
headed
here.
there.
It's not big headed.
I think I get why he's liked.
Yeah, what is
Go on
it?
and
Why
go
you
for
liked?
He's down to earth. What you see is what you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're polite.
Yeah, that's what
Say
I
good
I
morning
think
to the old people.
He's himself.
Leamington itself, being a town, it's they call it Royal Leamington Spa.
Yeah, I keep.
You
Everyone
know,
always tells
people
me that.
don't like in Leamington have a thought process about people, and I think there's a lot of wealth. There can be a lot of wealth in Leamington. There's
Yeah.
there's a lot of footballers, etc., who live around here because
Yeah.
it's a nice area to live. But I think once you let your egos get too high, people kind of catch on to that, and they don't really like it.
Yeah.
So if you can stay humbled and respectful to people, then I think a lot of people buy into it. And a prime example in boxing was probably like Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
You
100%.
still like your
Humble
typical
guy.
lad and
Yeah.
go to the pub, and
Yeah.
he didn't really change as such.
Yeah.
And people like to follow them sort of people, especially around Leamington Spa. I think with its history of like the Turpins and stuff,
Yeah.
they're a working class family.
Yeah.
And Leamington's never really had. They've had boxers come through, obviously Edwin did, etc. But they've never really got behind boxers as much as probably what they have done now, especially with like Lewis and what he did in
Yeah.
Commonwealth.
Yeah.
It's kind of sparking these old flames and getting
Yeah.
the ball rolling again, where people want to see the next like Turpin,
Yeah.
and try and put Leamington on the map, etc. So
Yeah.
I think with myself and the following I've got, it's because I'm respectful and polite, and I like to hope that no one has really a bad word to say about me.
Yeah.
But I also think it's helpful. Like I never used to box all the time. I boxed from the age of maybe like 10.
Yeah.
But before that, I used to play a lot of football, rugby. Quite a social person. Like, I'll go out into town with my friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But and I think that's part of it. People get to know a face to the name. They actually get to experience like what I'm like to be around in person.
Yeah.
Not to mess about with you as well.
Yeah, not
On
to
the
mess
other
around.
side.
No. But
That's why he's liked, because he doesn't have that side of it.
Yeah,
No,
but no, not to mess about
Do
with
you
you.
know what it is? There's a lot of people expect fighters to have an ego,
Yeah.
and so then when you
Aggressive.
can just talk to them normal, oh, I won't think you're a
I
fighter.
thought you were going to beat me up or something.
That
Why?
has an effect.
the
on
funny
them.
thing is,
Why?
I used to experience, and a lot of people used to pick up on, is because I'd go out into town with my friends and stuff, but I wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, first of all, would say like, "I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know how you come out
Yeah.
to town
Just
in
don't
this
drink,
in this environment." But I think more so being around other people who are drinking or drunk at some point in the night.
Yeah.
And they're like, "I don't know how you tolerate it," but it's kind of like you get used to it,
Yeah.
and you kind of get like you can still enjoy yourself without obviously
drink.
doing that. But then people, I'd still, even if someone was drunk, etc., and then still had their wits about themselves and try and chat to me,
Yeah.
rather than like fob them off and be like, just go away. I still kind of give them time, and they might repeat themselves about 6 or 7 times. Or
Yeah.
like
They
the common thing is they're talking. You're in a club, so it's loud. They're talking in your ear, and you get in the spit in your ear. But it's kind of like you just
You're on a different level.
just
aren't you?
just
understand
put
that they
yourself
just
on
want
this-
to talk to you,
yeah,
and then
keep
a
moving
little
back.
bit of time for them, and it also helps because they see what a person you are, and they want to come to support that, and obviously they want to buy a ticket. So
You know when
being out and
you know
about, they can see you and chat to.
I'm interested to know this about you though. What like so for me, I had a hard upbringing, and when I was a kid, I came across this documentary. I can't watch this documentary ever again called Champions Forever. Edwin knows about it because he talked about it.
Champions.
And I can't watch it because I see Ali and that, and it cuts me up because I don't think I ever really dealt with Muhammad Ali dying. Like, you know, it's a part of you, isn't it, when you bring it up. But seeing him go and change people's lives, that was a reason for me to want to box because I wanted to make a change in people's lives.
Yeah.
What is it for you? Is there more than just fighting? Is there a reason that you want to do it?
I get exactly what you're saying with Muhammad Ali as a prime example. He's probably known. He's known by everyone, isn't he?
Yeah.
So and he's obviously known by people for his boxing, but a lot of it is outside of the sport. And that's what everyone knows him for.
Yeah.
And I get enjoyment out of putting a smile on someone's face, whether it be within boxing or not.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, I do quite a lot of stuff with primary schools now, and going and trying to do like PE lessons for them and stuff. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is Danny's a professional boxer," and I just say, "No, I'm just Danny."
Yeah,
because that's what I am. My job is to box. Like, you know, an accountant's job is to be an accountant. But you don't say, "Oh, it's Jane the accountant."
Yeah.
Or anything. I'm just Danny, and my job is boxing. That's it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people they get excited by it, and if you can give someone like, even if it's 10, 30 seconds of your time,
That's right.
to say hello, have a chat with them, have a photo with them, etc., or just chat to them about anything, then it might make their day. Like me and Edwin went to LA last year, and we were fortunate enough to stay in a very nice.
Very
Come on,
fun.
tell me, lad.
Tell them the
Come
story.
on,
Listen,
tell me where you've been,
you're
mate.
listening. Get ready. Listen to this story.
So this very nice chap.
Who's the chap?
Names,
Come on.
It's called Pat Cassidy. Some of you might know he's engaged to Patsy Kensit, but besides all that, he lives locally.
Yeah.
He won at an auction a trip of a lifetime, I'd say.
I'd say so too.
To go visit Sugar Ray Leonard in LA at his house, and he could take 8 people.
Oh.
So,
Eight?
8 people.
What that?
So
Edwin, where did I've known you 30 years. Where were the 8?
So then obviously he invited Edwin, Edwin's brother-in-law Darryl, who also trains him, myself and a man from the gym. So was it October last year, November?
Yes, we saw it.
You've probably seen it.
We saw it.
We flew over there, and we were fortunate enough to stay in a very exclusive hotel.
What was it like, Sugar Ray, to meet the man? And that was my favorite.
That was weird. Even like now, we still
He's
talk
awesome,
about it.
man.
All of us that went over, and we still talk about it and say like,
Surreal.
it doesn't really feel like you actually, have it's kind of like you sort of see on the movies, and to be sat in his house as well.
Yeah.
But
Was it
he's just so down to earth. That's what I mean. And for him as well, we spent maybe 2 to 3 hours with him.
Yeah.
Personally, and then obviously we were in his house
Around
for a
other
little bit
people,
longer.
You sure had to throw a couple of punches in it. I'm sure you was on
A few little bit, yeah. But we
yeah.
also, we just did normal stuff with him. We had lunch with him. We watched a film in the cinema and stuff, and just chatted about just general life stuff, rather than just boxing.
That's right.
And like I noticed from him, he offers that because it's not just going off his back to have some people come to his house and just view it, and like I said, it's an experience of a lifetime. But on the flip side of that, when we were in the hotel, Arnold Schwarzenegger comes to the hotel every morning. This is like his routine.
Wow.
He eats breakfast there. After he's been to the gym,
Wow.
and we approached him a couple of times, and just asked politely, "Do you mind if we have a photo?"
Yeah.
Part of the trip.
Big.
Just blew us out. Just kept walking. And I understand, obviously,
And you weren't interested?
we're interested. Yeah, I understand he gets a lot of people asking for photos, or he probably can get harassed at times by people in big groups. But we thought, being in the hotel, it's quiet, there's no one really around. We just thought, ask politely. And I thought, for me, it didn't bother me too much because he's not like, I don't see him as like my idol, etc.
Yeah, I know
but
what you're saying.
other people,
I know what you're saying.
who he might be their absolute idol, or who they look up to, and obviously he's been in numerous films, and they might absolutely love him.
Devastated.
And they could ask for a photo and be blown out.
Devastated.
And that'd ruin how they look at that person. And I think for 10 seconds, just have one photo with someone. Well, doesn't take anything.
No. But for some people, they're getting bugged all the time. So
you understand that, but I think that's a lot of about what you have to acknowledge about going into whatever job you're going into. Where, if he wanted to be a film star when he was younger, maybe, or when he finally became famous for the bodybuilding and stuff, he wanted to go into filming.
So you got to expect.
So you kind of got to expect it's a package, isn't it? Like if you wanted to be a professional football player, it's all good saying, "Oh, I want to earn this amount of money. I want to be on TV playing football. This X, Y, and Z sponsors, etc."
Yeah.
But with that, you've got to acknowledge that there's going to be time there. You've got to then go and speak to fans. You've got to do the publicity stuff. You've got to hand out T-shirts to people.
It's part of the parcel.
You've seen it with Man United and Alex Ferguson. He'd make sure that every single player would sign a top once a week, I think it was, to go through and sign all these tops to give to charities and give out to people. And I think he called them off a bus one time, didn't he? Because they ignored the fans, and he told them all to get off, go see everyone, get photos with everyone.
And he wouldn't be afraid to tell them off in front of people.
And I think that he understood that's a package.
Yeah.
People, it's like the general public who are paid to come and watch my fights. They're the reason that I'm able to do the fights, because if I didn't sell any tickets, who's going to come and watch the fights?
Yeah.
Who's going to go turn up to the shows?
Yeah.
And it's like promoters with boxing. I think they understand that they've got to please the fans.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's good that nowadays, like you say, Eddie Hearn stuff, I've seen lately he's been doing these like charitable runs, and he's been running with everyone else that wants to do the run.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because he's got some sort of connection now with just general people, and it doesn't matter what it is, it's only a run around the block. But a lot of people will think and remember it, like we did this, and Eddie Hearn did it as well with us. Like it's no skin off no one's back just to spend a little bit of time for someone.
It's interesting. I listened to Chris Eubanks Jr. say somewhat on another podcast, and I don't know how they got into conversation, but I remember the concept of the end of the conversation. It was like he used to go out, blank people, and then he then started to understand that one person he blanked told the family and friends, and then people started to dislike him. So then he was going down the street, and that he realised it's because people talk. So that one person then becomes a family of people.
Onto everyone.
So now he spends more time to actually understand what I mean. Because if you want to be rich, you can go into business and be rich and not known. If you want to go in front of the camera and try to be rich and famous,
you've got to be known, and you want to be known for the
right
things,
it's part of the parcel. What I see Tyson, and I feel for Tyson at times, but I kind of like how he deals with it. He gets two people in front of him, and he puts his hand here, and his body language is humble enough, but he allows the security to stop people approaching him when he's had enough. Do you understand what I mean? Because it must be overbearing. Yeah. But at the same time, there's no need to blank people and be rude. Do you know what I mean?
So Danny, tell the people out there, it's your day-to-day routine. Obviously, they might think, oh, you're a boxer, you do this. Tell them the day-to-day. You got a normal life, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, of course I've got a normal life. 100%.
How's the family? Kids, you married?
No kids, and I'm not married.
No kids, no
girlfriend.
How many girlfriends you got now?
No,
10?
Just the one.
Just the one. Good-looking guy like you.
Very nice
put them lined up.
You engaged? You going to get married? Anything?
Maybe eventually.
You know too much, mate. Shut up.
We've got to ask, man. You know what I mean? Well,
you might not want to answer it, mate.
You get up.
I get up in the morning, and look, this is another thing with when you tell people you're full time, and they say, "Oh, what's your job?" and you say, "Oh, well, basically, I'm paid to train," and they think, "Oh, I could do that." They think you only train for an hour or two, and then you go home, and that's it. But it's not straightforward as that.
No.
I get up in the morning, obviously have my breakfast and stuff, and then I train down the workout mill, so it's a local gym. Do my cardio, my weight training.
How many mornings would you do that?
Monday to Friday, that is.
Right. So you wake up, you go for a run.
On it.
Yes, I do all my cardio, my weight training, at the workout mill. They're another one of our sponsors that help me out with the membership, etc.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I think within that, it's a very old school gym. But the people within that gym all have the same mindset, no matter what it is. Whether it's someone wants to just get fitter, someone's competing in another competition, someone is building a business. But that's, I think, the motivation around the gym, that everyone wants to try and strive to be the best. Whereas you go to other gyms.
It's not like a home gym. Everyone's doing their own thing out there.
Yeah,
no one's
people
engaging.
don't talk to each other. Whereas this gym, you go in and you say hello to everyone. You'll have a chat. Everyone will get to know each other. They even have like little parties together at times. Just everyone's linked together like almost like a family. But so I train there in the morning, and then I will train with Edwin about midday-ish. We'll do like a 1-to-1, but it can vary. It can. So we can do like technical work, or we can do loads of pad work. But it's kind of like nearer to the fights. We'll work on strategy and tactics, etc. And say, we've seen this opponent and work on this a little bit. And then I train with everyone else in the evening in the boxing gym. Leading up to fights, it changes slightly. So I'll train with everyone else in the evening. And then because I'm fighting later on in the evening, I'll train again and do a little bit of cardio after that, just so my time zone's within that same zone.
So how far do you run? You'll always get this.
It varies.
How far do you
It varies. Like I have
Depends what
days
sort of
that,
fight you're going for, innit?
yeah, but it's we're all training. I think you can't always push yourselves to the max every single session.
Yes.
As you're gonna you drain away. But
Yeah.
like I'll have hard days and I'll have slightly easier days.
Yeah.
And since going full time, I've realised that the rest factor is a massive part of it now.
It is.
Before I used to train twice a day. I used to do a full time job, which was physical.
Yeah.
And looking back at it, sometimes I wouldn't get back till maybe 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Go to sleep, wake up at 6, and it was ongoing for the whole week. And I used to feel it maybe like Thursday would be the main day that you'd be training in the evening at boxing, and I think I'm really tired. Like,
Yeah.
You'll perform right.
That's the thing. Like even with this calorie deficit thing makes me laugh, right? Because calorie deficit's come around in the last 10 years. No one talked about it before. And it started off with the government, and every coach online is talking about you just need to be in a calorie deficit. First of all, if they've got a gut problem and they're allergic to something, it's going to be a bit more than a calorie deficit. You're going to have to figure it out, right? But the one thing that's always been a problem from when we trained is overtraining. It's better to be undertrained than overtrained, because when you're in a fight, you can push that much harder. Overtrained, you're not going to do nothing. Do you know what I mean? So recovery, and not just sleeping, but ice baths, massages, anything that gets
Cover
the
your
body
muscles.
recovered. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
so
that's what's
overrated.
I'm the same as you. I looked more now into my recovery, my rest strategies, than actually sometimes my training, because my training will be quite standard now.
Yeah.
Throughout. Obviously, it may change depending on what fights I have, etc. And going away sparring, etc. But my rest now, so obviously, I have a sports massage.
Yeah.
I'll go for infrared saunas twice a week.
Yeah.
And then like after, if I've had like a hard camp, or I don't really like saying camp, but leading up to a fight, it's been tough.
Yeah.
I go for these flotation pods now, so that's a massive.
I've never tried one of them yet.
What are they?
Are they good?
It's like a big chamber.
Yeah.
And
So you probably want to try it now.
you'll sit, you basically lie in it, and it fills up with I think it's around
that, D.
10 to 12 inches of water. So it's not, you're not deep or anything, but it's got all the Epsom salts in it, so it helps you basically float.
Yeah. Is it warm or cold?
I'd say it's warm. It's not hot, but it's warm. And what happens is
You'd fall asleep.
the lights just this is literally I nearly fell asleep in it. It's not, but you can fall asleep. You're not going to drown.
Yeah.
But the lights dim, and then basically you are weightless. And I've been in. First one I went for one was like for 30 minutes, just to get a taster.
Yeah.
Felt great, but you don't really get the full experience. So the next one we did like an hour, and like I reckon 20 minutes in, you can feel yourself like just dozing off slightly.
Yeah.
It's weird. You're in like a frenzy where you kind of like you're part asleep, but you're still aware.
tranced.
Yeah, you're in a trance. Like you are still aware of your surroundings. But it's one of them things that I think a lot of footballers at the moment use, because they can run over set plays in their mind. There's no distractions. Just it's totally
just
for your
meditation,
mind.
deep thoughts, and
For your mind and that. And if you've got like routines you need to go over, whether it be dance routines or moves in boxing
focus
or
in there.
I don't know, free
How do you
kicks, penalties,
how do you sleep? Do you sleep good?
very deep.
Sleep
Because one thing me and my wife started doing, I give my credit to my wife. And she started putting this, and at first I thought,
Lavender.
sleep. No, she starts putting this white noise on.
Oh, that music.
No, like a plane tech. You know when you're on a plane and you hear turbulence,
It's one
a
tone.
little noise.
But that's
like,
that's a
friend
she
does
goes to
that.
sleep because you're snoring probably.
what are you on about? She snores more than me. I have to wake her. She goes into deep sleep. I have to wake her up because she snores. But she got this like,
A tone.
like when the plane's moving. Or she does water splashing up against the rocks.
A friend does that.
I love it, man.
Straight
Honestly.
Friend does that. It relaxes you. It's a mind thing, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're in a trance state. It
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
switches you off.
It's good. Like so I'm in the trans, and obviously eventually you have a little bit of music that starts back when it's coming time to finish,
Yeah.
and the water drains away, and you're still lying in it. And I think the massive part of it where you realise kind of what it's doing is when the water fully disappears and you're on the base again, and you realise how heavy your body actually is. But because you're constantly just doing day-to-day stuff, you don't realise how much strain or weight you're actually carrying with your body. But being weightless for an hour and then going back to normal, you realise how heavy your body actually is.
Yeah.
And the strains upon it. So especially if you're training as well, it's even more.
Yeah.
And I think it's just acknowledging in your brain that you want to do more training, but sometimes you've actually got to give yourself that time to rest. But you're never going to be able to increase your training or
The thing is as well, for totally tell the truth, we know when we should be training, we know when we're being lazy, but if we really tell the truth, and I have this with my clients, they feel guilty for taking the day off the gym.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you feel tired? Yeah. You feel exhausted? Yeah. Is that an excuse? No, it's not an excuse, but I don't want to let you down. We're not letting me down.
They don't know when they're overtraining, do they?
Take a day off.
Yeah.
And then they love it. And then I can't believe I've had clients come back to me when they've adapted more recovery in. I lost 10 pounds. Like on the scale, it says I've gone up. I can't understand it though. I've gone up 5% muscle, but I've still lost 10 pounds. It's because you just dumped a load of stuff waste that you needed to do because your body's holding on to things because it's tired.
And your muscles will get that. When I go see my sports massage woman, she can notice when my muscles are tired.
Yeah.
Which is clever. Like you must have to know from experience. But if I'm training hard and I feel tired in myself, she can feel it through your muscles.
Yeah.
And you can notice that. It's good that other people can notice it because they can tell you.
Yeah.
Whereas yourself, you kind of sometimes just soldier through stuff and you don't really sit back and review how you feel or what you're doing. And it's good that other people can tell you that. And
it's good.
Edwin's key to that. And I think he went back to like when he was with Brendan, leading up to fights, Brendan would say, "What are you doing? Go home."
Yeah, he used to do that.
And he'd say, "Oh, I got 2 weeks yet." He said, "Don't matter, just go." And I think you notice it in the amateurs. I think a lot more because you don't get the rest time sometimes, and you can overwork yourself. Like I remember when I was in the amateurs, I think in the championships I had 7 fights over 7 consecutive weekends, and going into the last one, I think I actually sat there and thought, you know what? I didn't even realise I've had 6 other fights over 6 weekends.
Yeah.
I just felt tired, like.
Yeah.
And obviously you go and fight and that, but it shows. I mean, Edwin caught onto that. I think over experience and knowledge and stuff. Yeah. He kind of acknowledges now that boxers need to have that rest period before.
That's
fights
because
when they want to exert as much energy
mind
as
as well.
possible.
That's
Mind's
because
probably the best.
when we used to train with Edwin in Sheffield, it would have been overtraining.
Yeah.
And
When you look at marathon runners, they in their training they'll run massive distances to train for it, but a week before a marathon, you never see them go out doing a marathon just to practice. They'd be resting it, wouldn't they?
Do you know when I started really paying attention to it? I started working with some professional footballers for Bradford City, and when I turned up to help them, I'm like, these guys are running, So when a football grabs a ball, if you run 100 meters, 10 seconds and under, right? That's the length of the football pitch, more or less. If a striker grabs the player or a winger grabs the player, it's nearly around the halfway line, 50 meters.
Yeah.
How many meters are they going to run with a ball? 20, 30 meters max?
Yeah, probably.
So it's very, very high intensity, right? Extreme intensity, ATP, boom. But they never trained them at high intensity. So I'm like, how are these guys doing it? Because they're literally just doing slow 45-minute jogs, slow workouts. I'm like,
you're going to perform that pace all the time.
But then it hit me. It's like, if you they're playing a game twice a week, and so if you're pushing them all the time,
and then playing a game as well.
They'll be over the game. So they're literally This is why the pre-season thing last year with Ronaldo, watching from a distance, kind of understood it. Because it's like, we think that when they break up for the season, they're not having any games and they will have holidays, but they'll be pushing the high intensity through the summer, getting
ready for that season.
get a real peak fitness, and then for the remainder of the season, hopefully, God willing, they don't get injured. They're just trying to maintain.
Yeah. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it might have been Brian Clough, weren't it? And when he had the group of players, and I think some of them had never ever had it, and even partway through a season, and they're meant to be training X amount of times a week, and I think he turned around to someone and said, "Lads, just go have a day off, do what you want. Don't do anything stupid, just go have a day off." And they were like looking at each other thinking, is he being serious here? Was he tricking us? And it was literally because he could tell that someone were being overstressed, or just it was getting to him. And just go chill out.
Yeah, because there's the mental side of it as well, and there's mental and emotional and the physical.
Yeah, but I think that's good. Like these coaches as well, though, they're able to acknowledge the people they're training. Yeah, and I think that's sometimes the bond that I've had with Edwin. He'll know. You've been with got the confidence to tell him how I'm feeling, and he'll know exactly how I feel from the way I look or the way I'm training, etc. And you kind of it bounces back off each other, and you can kind of you have that trust, so that if he tells me to do something, I'll do it. If I tell him how I feel, he'll acknowledge it, and I think that you get over time. It's about reading different people. People have different characteristics.
Yeah, definitely.
And
you've got to manage every fighter.
Yeah, it's man managing. It's like with football teams. People, the coaches and managers now, they manage players rather than just coaching them now. And I think that's a massive part of boxing. You have to know what a fighter's like. You have to know what they're like as a person, whether it be inside the gym or outside the gym. You need to know what they're like.
I don't know which way around. I always get confused between trainer and coach, but I know my point I'm trying to get. When we came up, it was more a teaching element, like your feet in the wrong place, your hands in the wrong place, and slowing it down. Yeah. And then what I do for a living now is very much conditioning someone. So like you see a bodybuilder, they can look in shape, right? Yeah. And you look at them and they're like, because I get it all the time as a coach, like, you're not that big. All right, but you want to go, the guy who's worth $10 million on steroids, you'd rather go and pay him than me. That's it. Do you understand why? Because fitness and aesthetics are two different things. People get confused between that too. So Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, look at the difference between them. You can see that Fury's fitter naturally, right? And now in sports, not just boxing, throughout sports, there's a lot more of people coming in, do more of the strength and conditioning because they want to look aesthetic a bit and feel fitter. The attitude is this though: you get in a fight, get knocked out, and your attitude is to train harder, then you're missing the point.
Yeah, it's not going to stop you getting knocked out.
It's not going to stop you getting knocked out, right? So what you're saying all ties into, like, there's got to be a balance between being conditioned, having a game plan, and actually knowing the game. And unfortunately, in all sports, it's dying out now. I like the recovery side of it, the strength and conditioning side of it. It's what I do for a living, right? But it has to add, not take away from the boxing.
The soul sport side of things. That's what I think. Strength and conditioning is it's quite a new thing in boxing. I say boxing's probably a little bit behind its time.
We were told you can't lift weights when
But I think it's good that you have that sort of thing, and it has its benefits. Like it's trying to push you to be stronger or more explosive, etc. Yeah. But I think you can't take away your normal boxing training to fit more of this in. Yeah. Like you still need to have the soul boxing side of things, because that's what is going to win you fights. Boxing's different to any other sort of sport, obviously by UFC. Yeah.
Agreed.
You can be the fittest person in the world and box, but you might be a crap boxer.
Yeah.
It's the skill of boxing that's going to win.
100%.
You could be fittest, you could have a six pack, you could have muscles coming out your ears. Yeah. But you get in the ring and
that's what I mean.
Finish in 10 seconds.
It's the persona, innit? It's like, you see a guy your size and my size on a nightclub door, and you see a big guy next to us, like, we're scared of him. We're scared of the guy who could fight, not the guy who's got the big muscles.
Yeah, possibly.
But it's just it's people.
But also, a lot of people nowadays are making massive money out of the whole thing, persona of you should look this way to be able
I don't know, it's creeped into the fitness industry though, like big muscles means they fit. I don't get right around it.
I mean, you know, like you said yourself, Joshua and Fury and that, and you know, Joshua looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he can gas out after 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Them muscles need
Muscle
oxygen.
Yeah, and that's sometimes the problem. I think it's different in different sports.
That's right. You got to build your body in a certain way for.
Yeah, you've
each
got to build your
sport.
body to the sport.
It's like
rather than trying to
yeah.
build your body and then adapt it to a sport.
Yeah.
It's like my son. He played rugby and he's got to work on something else. Now he's going to NFL. He's got to put the weight on. But
Yeah.
He's got to keeping up with his
Conditioning.
speed, his conditioning and stuff. So
Yeah.
they train differently in different sports. So he's got to adapt to.
Well, I first acknowledged that when I watched that, The Last Dance.
Yeah.
I mean, what documentary that is? But when Jordan went from basketball to baseball,
Yeah.
his coach that is PT, like who did all the training for him, had to adapt a training program from that. And he said, I mean, I think he did it in an abnormal time, but he said you're gonna have to change your body to adapt it to that sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you've been doing and how your body is playing basketball, you need to change that completely to how you're going to play baseball. And obviously that's what you had to do. That's what you had to do during that off season.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do is if you want to be the best at that sport,
You gotta
you
adapt
can't
it.
just do your general weight bearing stuff, or
Yeah.
you have to adapt it to that sport.
It's sport specific, so
Yeah.
like, and I don't want to be disrespectful because there's a lot of good coaches out there. There's a lot of bad coaches, but a lot of good coaches out there. But even with the good coaches, strength and conditioning coaches that are coming into boxing, they could make you do certain exercises that are absolutely amazing for the general public.
But for the
But how is that going
sportsman,
to be sport
yeah.
specific? So, for instance, how do you modify a known movement into a sport specific movement? For example, most people just do a lunge. Are you going to do a lunge with a landmine, and then when you're coming up through the landmine, extend out, snap out? So now you've got your punching movements, you're using your legs and hands. So it needs to be modified. Some people go the other way around. You'll see them deadlifting and squatting and doing things like that, and I'm like, it's not going to help you in a fight. That's going to hinder you. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
So it has to be modified. Darling, are you paying attention back there? I've been trying to get your attention for the last 5 minutes.
What time is it? 10 o'clock at night now.
Don't switch off back there.
Not falling asleep, is she?
So she's always falling asleep, mate. I'm surprised Donovan's not falling asleep as well.
No. I mean, interesting guy. man.
He is, isn't he? He's kept you awake, hasn't
Kept me awake,
Because he has fallen asleep on the
I have,
podcast
I have,
before.
I have.
I had to edit that out, honestly.
Put me cap
Should've
down.
left it in
Put me
there.
cap down like that.
So we're gonna test you now. We're gonna
Yeah?
do. We're gonna
Okay.
we do. Well, this is the first time we've done it, actually.
Right.
Oh, great. Test that on me then, yeah?
Yeah, and we're gonna do a new thing at the end as well. So we've got 3 questions. All right. Let's test your boxing IQ.
Okay, Johnny.
Not nervous, are you?
There you go, Johnny.
So we
The
got.
answers on there as well.
Boxing IQ.
Oh, we got-
Everyone's got a question. Slide it up for it. Up for Danny.
So if you get it wrong, you're getting laughed at, mate. So
Yeah,
where's the
okay.
questions to put, Danny?
Danny.
Okay. Question number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. He's going to Google it. He's going to Google it.
No, put your phone away.
Hey.
Question number 1. Would you say you're proud of coming from Leamington?
Yeah, 100%.
Just apologise if it gets this wrong
do
to
you wanna tell me
Leamington
why?
Spa people.
Can we take
Because you might get a question wrong about Leamingtons. So, what year did Randolph Turpin beat Sugar Ray Robinson?
Is it 1965? 4, sorry.
No, unfortunately, that's wrong. It was July 10th, 1951.
1951. Round surfing.
Not too
sorry,
bad, not too bad. You'll never forget that now, will you?
He died in 1966, that's what I know.
That's what you're getting confused with.
Yeah.
Okay. Simple one coming up. Simple one. How many divisions are there in boxing? I can do that. I'll let you do that. I'll let you
God,
do
he
that.
can do it.
You do know.
No?
He said 25 on the way down. You're making me count. You're making me have to count.
Oh, where's that board? That was in the old gym, that, wasn't it? In fact, you've got the board inside your gym with the weight division.
It's not in here now. I'm going to go with 20.
In fact, let's go through
Gonna
them.
cut.
Let's go
Go on
through
then.
them.
We're casting straw weight.
We can't. You can't know who can't know. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
Straw,
Yeah.
Yep.
fly,
Yeah.
Yep.
super fly.
Yep. Wait a minute. Is it light? Is it straw weight? Yep. Go on. Keep going. Yep.
Bantam,
Yep.
super bantam,
Yep.
feather,
Yep.
super feather,
Yep.
lightweight,
Yep.
super light.
Yep. Super light. Light welterweight. Yeah.
Yeah, the old one.
Welterweight.
Welterweight,
Yeah.
super welterweight, is there?
Yeah.
light
So I
middle,
call light
light
middle,
middle,
super
light
middle,
middle, light
super
middle.
welterweight. Yeah. How many is that?
Middle,
Yeah. 12.
super middle.
13.
Then is it?
Like
Yeah, light heavy, cruiserweight, heavyweight.
14.
Yeah. We want class the cruiserweight one.
You're not classing cruiser.
No, we want class the bridger weight thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, we're not classing.
Yeah. So how many is it?
18.
I had 16.
16.
I had 18 orders.
All right. We'll let him have that one. We'll let him have that one.
all right.
We'll have that one. I got that one wrong. I got that one wrong. I got that one wrong. Okay, last question. What year was the WBC, the WBA, IBF, and WBO formed?
It's gonna be a guess. This is.
Go for it.
So WBC.
Yeah. Was that the first one?
No, I'm just. So you want?
Put in order. When they came out.
Yeah. So WBC.
Oh, you want a date for each one? Yeah.
Yep.
A year, sorry.
Yeah.
WBC.
Where did it come from?
19. WBC 1963.
You're teaching me now. See,
Right.
it's good.
WBA 62. First one.
Yeah.
IBF was in 83. In fact, I don't know who did this. I know off by that.
Yeah.
WBO was 1989.
89. Because
Yeah.
Thingy won that one. Eubanks and.
Give him a round of applause. You did well there.
Well done.
How many did he get right?
None.
No?
None of them.
He got one
I
right.
got one.
He's got one.
With a better help.
He got one right. He
one
got
right.
one
Well
right.
done.
He got one right.
I need to start doing a bit more homework on it.
That was good, that.
That was good. That was
was
good. I've got some for our next guest because he says he's a Floyd Mayweather fan, so we're going to test
Who's the next guest?
Matty. Matty's a Floyd
Make
fan.
sure you
innit?
get a few. Give him more than 3 questions.
Yeah. Would you think he'll know it all? Is he smart, Matty?
He does watch a lot of boxing and know a lot of boxing.
Yeah.
That's probably my
What
downfall.
is
I
it?
don't-
Is the thing?
don't
The thing
watch
at
as
watching.
much as
Who
what
was your
Bobby
favourite
knowing.
fighter coming up? Who influenced you most?
Funny enough, and he's not my weight, but I watched a hell of a lot of Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it's a bit odd as well. that
you've got to love
What do you like of Mike Tyson when you used to watch it? What did you
I just like
like
the persona that he used to predict,
Yeah.
come out to.
when he come out
But
and
I
everything?
also found an interesting fact is the date that he bit Evander Holyfield's ear off,
The day you
and
were
around
born.
the same sort of time as the year I was born. So
God,
for
eh?
me, that's a bit of a
I remember sitting down
Is it
watching
meant
that
to be? I
live,
don't
you
know.
know.
Yeah, I watched
Wow,
it.
you born that year?
97.
Jesus, I feel
Brilliant.
old, man. I feel old.
I'm old as
Nearly 26 years ago.
Gee.
Jesus.
But yeah, I that was an interesting fact. But yeah,
You
I
know-
used to watch a lot of
Yeah.
his fights and stuff.
You know,
and
the style of your boxing? What do you look up at when you was young, when you're coming up through the boxing ranks? Who do you used to watch to try and, okay, I'm going to imitate that
You
style
say it,
to cut
honestly,
out?
I'd
Yeah.
honestly say I was influenced by Nas, Roy Jones
Roy
Jr.
Jones, Mike
They were the
Tyson.
two things. But I couldn't box like
I
Tyson. I,
was-
love
I wa-
Tyson.
yeah, I was
but I couldn't
Mike-
box like Tyson. But Ali,
I used to love
they were the
watching
three
Mike
that I was
Tyson.
influenced by.
I think
Mike Tyson.
I used to watch a lot of these, but also I understood that one, I'd never be able to fight like Mike Tyson because I'm not a heavyweight,
That's
etc.
right.
Yeah.
My weight's a lot faster and a lot quicker and stuff, and technical. But I wouldn't say I kind of try to box like a specific fighter.
Yeah.
And
Just
I
took
think
bits out.
yeah, you get little bits or little
Yeah.
snippets that they might do, and
Yeah.
and I think Edwin helped me to understand that each fighter is unique,
Yeah.
and I think if a boxer's trying to
Imitate someone.
imitate another fight, never going to work.
That's
Like, all the greats, or even even the greats and the champions.
It's tailor-made
If you look
for
at their
them.
styles, they're all completely different.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're all completely different. Some of them do stuff that's probably not traditionally right to do, or etc. Have your hands down, or box in a certain stance, or whatever. But that's what makes them great, I think, and what makes them so unique about the way they box.
I love that. Like I heard Mike Tyson recently say something like about, how did he word it? I don't want to get it wrong, but he was basically trying to say that he's more of a textbook fighter, and so Ali should all the things Ali basically did. He couldn't understand why he was as good as what he did, because he didn't know how to get his hands up, he didn't know how to block, he didn't know how to. But that made him unique and hard to read. Whereas when you're doing it the traditional way, you know,
Your hands up and
slip, come back up, jab, people can start reading that.
Yeah.
But when you start doing what even Tyson did and start not coming back up,
From a different angle.
you're coming from a different angle.
as well.
That's it.
It was about
Same
being
with Naz, isn't it?
unpredictable, isn't it?
Yeah, same with Nat, same with Roy Jones. They're coming off with something different. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And while it's working, it's good.
Working, yeah.
But as soon as your
They
reflexes
always
go,
get caught out.
that's why for me, Ali's the greatest, because Ali is the only fighter that I know of, correct me if I'm wrong, that started his career one way and finished completely different. Like like when your reflexes are gone, you see it with Roy, you see it with Naz, you see it with.
He still boxed a way that he could with the ability he had.
There you go. He changed.
Yeah.
He didn't rely on the reflexes anymore. He
He
started
lay on
getting his
the
hands up
ropes.
and laying
That's
on
what I
the
mean.
rope.
It's about being able to adapt, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, if you've learnt boxing from a textbook, you don't. When something different comes into play, a different experience that you've never been used to before. If you're only used to going out from a textbook, for example, you don't know how to adapt to that change. And I think that's what the whole experience of boxing is. You're always constantly learning. And obviously, I was lucky I had 8 or 9 amateur fights, so the amount of different people and different styles that I fought against has enabled me to be able to adapt under experiences and fighting different people with different styles, different stances, different heights, etc. So, I'd say that my caliber of fighters I fought is very unique, and I'm able to adapt. So in another fight in the future, if there's a certain fighter with a certain style, I've probably already experienced it. But like you said with Muhammad Ali, he was able to change the way he fought because he knew, I can't do this anymore. I can't do that anymore how I used to do it. So you have to box that certain way. I mean, you look at Rocky Balboa. He's a prime example, isn't he? Like, you
He
watch
did
the
it, though.
films. He did it, didn't he?
Yeah,
He went from getting
southpaw.
punched in the head God knows how many times.
Walk
then
through you, just
then
walk
Rocky
through you.
Rocky
3
3,
comes out and
moving around.
he's moving around,
Yeah.
Rocky 4, he went back to a little bit of the old style, and then you look at him,
Rocky
was it
Fives.
Rocky Balboa,
Punchy.
Yeah.
when
The street
his
fight.
coach...
He just
He's
lifts
going,
weights.
you
and-
got arthritis.
Yeah,
you
he just
can't
lifts
do
weights.
this.
Yeah.
He just went for power, didn't he?
Do you know the way I see it is, you let's say you got the lottery and you got 6 numbers. It's infinitive, right?
Yeah.
Let's say next week we come up with this smart idea, 2-number lottery. It wouldn't be that smart, would it? Because every week it'd be 1, 2, 2, 1, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we might have to go back to drawing board here and create 3 numbers.
Yeah.
Then you go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3, right? Then you go to 4. How is that extra number just made it all confusing? And then you go to 5, and that's what boxing is. If you can do southpaw, orthodox, switch stance, going backwards, going
Hands
off to
down.
the side, hands down, only outer range,
Out of range, not
not inner range.
Well, some people make mistakes and do it in a range.
How
Drop
can
the hand,
how
boom.
can like I saw I don't know who it was. I think tell me it might have been Tank. You might know. I saw really somewhat unique in a fight very recently, where a guy went down into a full squat just to come up for a squat so he
Spinning
could get
around.
into range without the other fighter knowing he was in range, and he got caught. Did you see that?
I've seen it, yeah.
And the craft enough to be able to understand how to do that.
Wow.
Whereas the textbook way is
Standing, one stance.
standing there for you to hit me. I mean, like, I don't get people that want to stand there and hit each other and show how much they
Tough
can
they
take.
are.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's why
But the
boxing
thing is,
gets my name.
with that is, it's like no matter how much training you do, you can't drain your chin.
No.
It's all right in your head being like, I'm a tough guy, I can take it or whatever.
Take it for
It
so
doesn't
long.
matter who you are. If
Take it so
someone
long.
lands a big enough shot on you,
You'll be
that's
out.
it.
Yeah, you'll be out. I could talk to you all day long. How long do you think we'll be speaking?
How long, love?
I know because I checked my watch
10
a minute
hours.
ago.
10 hours,
10
mate.
hours.
But I want you to don't start.
I
Don't
reckon,
start.
about 30 minutes.
Is it?
We've been speaking.
About an hour, then, isn't it?
No, what time did I tell her to cut off?
1/2
It's
wasn't
it's about 1 hour and 5 minutes, darling. Is that
Yeah.
right? About 1 hour and 5 minutes.
You know what it is? You just get carried away with this. You know what I mean? It's
But that's what
enjoyable.
it's all about,
relaxing.
isn't it?
That's what
you know,
we
like you
designed
said,
here.
an interview,
Yeah.
that's what,
You feel like
2
saying
minutes,
it.
5
Yeah.
minutes max maybe.
This is a chat.
And that's how it should be, because I
Freestyle.
think
We haven't planned it.
you can get out more out of a person by having a chat than you can.
Yeah.
Precisely.
And if
Because
you
in an
relax,
interview, you're only asking specific things about that specific person. You can only come back with
that's it.
so many answers.
Yeah.
You have a chat, you can have a chat about anything, can't
You
you?
didn't know the cameras were here.
I didn't
Well,
even know they were.
you forgot about
We
them,
hope
yeah.
you guys know Danny a lot more after talking to him.
Yeah.
In the comments, let us know what you liked about this podcast.
I think
Let
you
us-
like,
Or what you
I
didn't
think you
like,
the
or
answers.
Or what you didn't like.
Questions, his questions he answered.
Let us know who you want us to interview next. Let us know
pop
what
it
we're
in,
doing
man,
good,
in
what we're doing bad. We take all feedback.
That's right.
There's 3 things I want to do before we close it, though. The first thing is, have you got a nickname?
Not currently, so that could be potentially something that they
So
can
we
put in
give
the
a
comments.
nickname, guys.
If you want to come up with a nickname, maybe watch some more fights on YouTube first.
Do it.
To get an idea.
Where can I find you?
So Insta Danny_Quartermain.
Which you'll see at the bottom of the screen right now popping up.
Yeah, there's plenty on YouTube as well. Facebook, Danny Quartermain. But yeah, if you want to have a view of some more fights, then maybe get an idea of what the nickname might be.
I think.
So what
then
about
come back to
so hey. So the winner, the best name, what you'd pick, why do you give him a free ticket?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that.
I think I'll be the winner because I got a good name. I got a good name for him.
Yeah. What do you say, Matt? Yeah.
But do you know
Free
what?
ticket,
I'm going. You know, what I knew of him was quite a silent guy. But he's not silent. You could talk.
Yeah.
I can.
You can talk. You can talk. You can talk.
No,
good as well.
he's confident now.
But it's when I'm. I think it's more so when I come to my fighting.
Yeah.
I'm quite quiet. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people say, like you're a bit of like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing.
You're in the zone. aren't
When
you?
I'm general every day, I chat to people, I
Yeah.
smile, everything.
Well, you
When
don't-
I come to
you-
fighting,
Yeah, you don't talk.
like a different demon.
Yeah.
Best way.
Silent assassin. That's what I
Best
think his
way.
name
Best
should be.
way. Don't throw
Yeah,
it
yes, my darling, my boss on the background. Sayang means darling in her language. Would you say more introvert or extrovert?
I'd say extrovert.
Okay. Would you say there's introvert and extrovert? You don't know him well enough.
He does know him, man. He knows me.
So I'm an introvert,
Yeah.
but most people wouldn't know I'm an introvert because I've learned when to be an extrovert. But
Yeah.
introvert is
What do you think I am?
you, an oddball. So no, the best way someone described to me is an introvert is someone who gets energy for spending time with themselves, whereas an extrovert is someone who likes to be around people.
People and get
I
energy
get exhausted by people. So when we get off this podcast, not personal to you,
You go for a sleep.
but sometimes I feel tired because I've give energy to it,
Yeah.
whereas he's awake all night, full of energy.
I'm buzzing, mate.
Yeah.
I ain't sleeping tonight.
So after saying all that,
It's a
would
good
you?
job because he's driving.
Yeah, drove here.
That's why we've got to get a hotel every time we do a podcast. He can't drive home after. He falls asleep at the wheel. He does. I have to grab the wheel. Would you say that you're definitely an extrovert then?
I would say so. I think there's obviously different levels of it. I wouldn't say that I'm always like outgoing, etc. But,
Yeah.
but I do like to be around other people,
That's good, man.
and I can be quite outgoing.
Let's see if I win the prize. I think next fight is going to come out with a big hood on like the Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
They
there's
won't be
a-
seeing
With
me
his
running
new
off no
ring
walls,
name.
though.
yeah, running off the walls and all the
With
rest
his
of it.
new ring name as well.
It's
What,
like-
what you've invented?
Danny, the silent assassin.
The good thing is I'll get some new shorts to the next fight. So
Yeah.
There we go.
whatever the name.
So
There you go.
is,
You need,
The winner-
you know, as well on top of that, when you get your new name, you need a gimmick. Yeah.
Yeah, just give
So
him
you-
one, the
so-
silent assassin.
So you come out with the hood on and
yeah, we'll do.
yeah.
What was your
Whatever the
gimmick
name
again?
is.
You know,
Oh.
the reason he did all that is because he wants to tell
Stop
you.
it,
He wants
man.
to tell you about what his
He
gimmick
knows.
was.
He
What
knows.
was your gimmick, D? Go on, D. I'll let you say.
I was a dark gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came out of that gladiator shield. I hide it. I Gladiator Shield. Well, he's seen the fights anyway.
You came out to the Spartacus music as well, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, man. I made my own tunes, man. I got the crowd pumping, and you know, I like to entertain. I love getting the crowd going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what music you come out to?
Ready or Not by the Fugees.
There you go. That's good music.
Everyone, I'll stick with that because everyone knows when that comes on.
The Noise Shoe.
Yeah, that's like Eubanks with Simply the Best.
Simply the
isn't it?
best, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Sometimes you
tune,
have to have them. These sort of like
and it helps you as well.
All you have to
things that stick with.
all you
the
have to do
person.
with that is if you ever want to change up, I've seen people do it. They put this like
remix on it.
an intro at the start, and then
Put your name on
boom
it or
kicks
something.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all, man.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I like the Simon Says one. I start to use that on all the 13th round videos because it's good. It really times well with the fight scenes.
Okay.
And then the last thing we're doing, which you're going to start off, is a new thing that you don't need to say out loud, but we're going to check out now, and then you're going to leave a question that you want to ask the next guest. So when we open up on the next episode, it will be a question from Mr. Danny Quartermine. But before we leave, I want you to leave the audience tune in with one thing that you want them to know about you.
I want them to know about me. Would be I only thought about boxing being my career.
Yeah.
Probably 5 years ago.
Wow.
So I'd say quite recently, if I'm honest.
So it was part-time first, wasn't it?
It was a hobby. It still
Yeah,
is a
it's a
hobby,
hobby,
I
yeah.
see it. But in terms of me acknowledging that I can turn this hobby into a career path, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Right.
Whereas others have this desire to be a professional boxer from a young age, or when they first start a sport. Okay. But I saw it as a hobby. I didn't initially go into boxing thinking that I want to compete. I trained for maybe 2.5 years before I even thought. I didn't even think about competing. It had been asked me, "Would you like to compete?" Thought I'd give it a go, and that's when I first got the feeling for it and thought I really enjoy this. When you get the buzz from the win. But in terms of a career, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, that I thought, you know what, let's push and see how far I can go.
What do you enjoy the most in boxing? The coming out in the ring, to the music, the entertainment, or just fighting? Which one, or both?
I like fighting.
Do you like the coming out of the ring? When you're coming out in the intro, you know what I mean? When they call your name
I don't
out,
mind that. You know,
the crowd,
if
you can
they-
look around and see,
If you didn't have to do that and they just said, right, just get in the ring and go for it, I'd be happy.
So you're not
I enjoy
bothered,
fighting. I wouldn't say I'm not one of them where I fight outside of boxing or I go fight in the street or whatever.
I know what you mean.
But I
You like
enjoy-
testing yourself.
Yeah, I enjoy fighting in the ring. Another thing I quite like is how many different people you meet in boxing.
As you go
Different
along.
characters and stuff. And
How long are you going to stay there for?
yeah, exactly. But it's also the respect factor. Everyone in boxing, most of the time, kind of respects each other.
Yeah.
No matter what background you're from, no matter who you are. If you speak to someone and they say you're a boxer, you're a boxer. You have a mutual
respect,
for everyone, which
And
I
you know
think
what?
is
Funny
nice.
enough as well, like your opponents who you beat, you be very, very close with them as well.
Yeah, because
You
they're
become very close to
they're
them as
part of
well.
your journey and part of the
And history
journey
as
you
well.
took. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that's one thing about me.
It's been good.
Be good.
You want to keep going, don't you?
I know. I
Don't
enjoy
worry.
speaking to you.
Don't worry, you're
Danny.
gonna you're
We'll
gonna
be back.
become
We'll
a
be back.
regular.
We'll be back. We'll come back again when
Right.
you're world
So-
champion. Definitely.
We'll be world champion. We'll be back when there's British champion, when there's Commonwealth champion,
That's right.
European champion. We'll journey with him. We'll journey with him. And then when we get loads of
Will you give-
sponsors and we're a
Danny,
big time
Danny,
podcast,
Danny, I'm asking you now.
we'll still
Can
come
you
back.
give us a job, please?
Was
Stick with you. Give us a job. You know, I might
Wait,
as well-
when I
might as
move to
well-
Bali, you guys are going to be doing the podcast.
Fair enough.
together.
Me,
We've already
I'll
sorted
carry
out.
the belt out and all that. I'll be training him as well, doing his
Will you
diet as well.
let him carry your Toys of Us belt?
Stop it, man. Stop it, man. Tell him.
I'll tell you the joke off camera. I'll tell you the joke off camera. Okay, darling, hit that music for me.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the 13th and final round podcast.
Yeah. And don't forget to like and share.
Hit that notification button so you get the notifications.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're here.
And we out.
All right. Yeah.
Done.
Boom.